Parcero. Welcome to the Parceros Take episode.
Wait,
27.
Yo, you got me, bro.
¿Qué pasó, Mari? Anyways, welcome to Parceros Take episode 27, featuring Andy Deossa. Parceros, thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Please comment. We can talk about the Deportivo match, pero no cante los goles. We can talk about Medellín and Nacional last night, whatever you guys want. Parceros, thank you for tuning in. Today, analysis del partido against Uruguay. How are we feeling about that?
I was lagging, bro.
I don't want to go into it, man. I know Danny's ready to go into it.
Oh, bro, I'm ready. I got my notes. You already know. Sorry about that. I was lagging.
He's so excited his internet's not working again, bro.
Yeah.
We'll be previewing Ecuador. That Colombia goes down to Quito in the mountains, and we're going to play down in Quito. But parceros. Andy, thank you for joining us. How about that Medellín game last night?
Papi, chipi. Todo el día estaba escuchando chipi. Para esas ratas que se fueron al estadio a ver el papá ganarle al hijo como siempre. Esa la vuelta.
Nah, I sent a message in the Discord. Like, I knew Andy was going to put on his finest Medellín gear on for the episode.
We need a vibe.
Of course.
As he should.
Honestly, I was going to wear my James Everton jersey. I thought about it until yesterday, then I went out the window. But I was going to wear it backwards, so it just said James across my chest the whole episode. just for Danny.
Y el Cali, ¿cómo va el Cali, Danny? Before we get into it.
Last time I saw it, 0-0. I think it's at halftime. Like right before we got at the podcast, they're going into halftime, 0-0. So
dale, ahí los muchachos del chat no avisa cualquier cosa.
Oh no, parce, let me wait to the end of the game. I'm stressing, bro. Anything can go. I think we scored a goal. To me, it was a goal. Bar said it was offsides. I'm all right.
Bueno. Okay. Bueno, pues a ver. Anyways, Uruguay draw in Barranquilla. Yo,
what's the sentiment?
Es el equipo de los empates, marica. If we don't win, we don't lose. It's just ties. What's
our sentiment? Like Andy, how you leaving that match, going into the match, leaving the match? You happy?
I'm chilling, bro. I said it on. We did the watch along stream for the game. Salute to everybody that tapped in for that in the Discord.
Yes, sir.
I was honestly fine with the result. First of all, because I did think we were gonna lose that game, so maybe my mindset going into it was like, all right, man, if we're able to get a point out of this, that'd be good. Obviously, the way it finished, you're not happy about that at all because.
So you're bitter. So you bitter draw.
Oh, hold on, let me go. Colombia's like one of the only unlucky teams that I know que se caga así de fácil, parce, ganando y not only just that moment, then Camilo Vargas, who's been Colombia's best player probably for the 3 games, or one of Colombia's best player at least, is not.
No, what about?
No. That's why I changed my say. I said one of the best players. But my sentiment is I'm fine because, like I said, I honestly thought it was a hard game for Colombia to begin with. I didn't think that they were going to be up to par with Uruguay, and we'll talk about how the game unfolded. But I'm not bitter. I'm good. Listen, I've said it from the beginning. A process is a process, and the way the table looks right now, I'm happy with what Colombia has done. Right? They got a point out of the game. You obviously a game that they should have been 3. But I'm not going to overreact to this game right now because of the way it ended and because of the way it unfolded. I'm cool with the point, honestly.
I like that word process. I'll touch that on.
In the word of Mondragon, was a game that we could have won. We could have lost. They had opportunities. We had opportunities. I think ours were clear. But overall, I don't think we played the best game. James, like I said in the previous episode, and I'm going to refer to it, a little snippet.
Hey, shouts to Run. Shout to Run. He had la alineación. Tenía la alineación. Mine is Borreo on the right.
I said, if Lucho isn't going to carry the team, someone has to do it. And who's going to do it? James David Rodríguez Rubio.
Yeah, but you also say, hey, let's not forget that you also say that Núñez que iba a ser queso derretido. Queso derretido.
Before the penalty. What do you do before the penalty?
¿Ganamos o perdimos? ¿Ganamos o perdimos?
Estamos hablando de resultados, estamos hablando de Núñez.
Nos la clavó al ángulo. Necesitaba una y el derretido nos la clavó al ángulo.
Bro,
lo mismo que hizo James.
Cualquiera.
Bueno, James ganó el partido. James ganó el partido en casa. No.
Pero
No
¿qué
lo
tiene que
ganó,
ver James?
ganamos.
Vos me preguntaste de Núñez, que
Sí.
Núñez para mí no hizo un buen partido.
Nah,
Fuera
yeah.
del gol, o sea, antes del el minuto 90 no hizo ni un culo, marica. Eso
To
no,
me, la vaina es que está en lo cierto. Uruguay no hizo un... Bueno, aparte de las llegadas que tuvieron, de juego, Uruguay no hizo nada. But we'll talk about it later. But I just wanted to note that, yeah, James tuvo un buen partido, pero Núñez el redetido nos la clavó y nos quitó 2 puntos. That's all I'm gonna say. The same way you guys, Núñez también no la clavó.
I don't know, man. I don't think he played a good match. I mean, yeah, nos clavó el penal en el 90, pero pues ese penal lo puede meter de la Cruz o cualquier otro.
Y la pelota que le puso a este man para que agarrara el penalti que puso. He was the one that made the assist. That's why he got the PK.
No, pues con esa defensa como estaba, weón.
Entonces ya estamos de mala defensa. So that's what we gotta. To me, that's what we gotta talk about. We gotta talk about the way we actually played. Yes, okay. And I got to be clear that if I talk about a player, I'm not judging their berraquera, sacrificio,
I got you.
Quality. When I talk about James, I'm not judging his quality. I know what James can bring to the table. Todavía tiene una zurda mágica. When I talk about Borré, I'm not judging his berraquera, what he does in the area defensively, how he helps out, what he does inside his realm. I'm not judging that. However, vamos a hablar de la alineación, which is the first thing that surprised me. Sí, bien, entró James. But why, to me, ¿por qué no fue una buena alineación? Porque sacas a Borrell y lo pones a la derecha. Y ahora Borrell tiene que defender todo el partido. That by putting James and playing for James means James is free to roam, which means players, the whole game has to be played based on James. So did we play to beat Uruguay or did we play to make James play well? That's my question. Because
did James play well?
We do agree with the Borré thing. Obviously, we all are in agreement that James and Borré starting because of the way that they want James to roam and play that free role is not ideal because Borré took himself out of the game, trying to defend, trying to come back and track and get the ball and things like that.
He has to. It's why. Es como planteó Lorenzo el partido.
Exactly, but that's not to say it's a testament on we're playing to James. It's a testament to say that Lorenzo maybe didn't put the striker out there. That's not because, like we mentioned, right? It was him or Carrascal going to be in that game as a starter. The way that James was trending, Lorenzo starting him, it wasn't as surprising to me and maybe as it was to other people. Obviously not to Ron either, but you have him on the field and you need him to play a role, right? So it's not necessarily they're playing they're playing to James because the same way like they try to play to Lucho and Lorenzo said it after the game, we need to play more to Lucho. It's not about playing to James. It's just about or on the field around.
To me, I strongly disagree, bro. To me, I strongly disagree because we've known that when James is on the field, he does not come back. He's the false nine, which means we have to play for him. Sure. To me, I strongly disagree with that.
And it's a disadvantage to both Borré and Lucho, but at the same time, James was tracking back in that game too. It's not like he didn't track back game. Like a lot of them.
No, berraquera. I'm not judging his berraquera. However, when it comes to tracking back, Borré has to play the winger, for sure. a winger, and he has to block that left side. And that's to say that he didn't try, but he's not a true winger. Y lo pone incómodo, fish out of water. We didn't play the dynamic, fast-paced type of games that we were playing that we did against Korea, against Japan, like the team that beat Germany. This is a totally different playing style. You see what I'm saying? And I understand that every team we have to play different. However, the way that James played at 9 with Duran on the right against Venezuela, this was totally different. This was a totally different playing style. And to me, that's where the question marks kind of goes off. And this is what left me with a lot more question marks, in my opinion, going into the way the initial lineup was and the way Lorenzo planned out this match.
Yo
You
pienso
don't think?
que,
Oh
I mean, I don't know where you're taking the conversation.
no. To me, like this is a totally different playing style. I think we are.
Okay.
This is we are switching the playing style when playing to James. This is kind of the conversation, in my opinion. That's looking at the starting lineup y como fue el partido planteado from the get go.
I mean, looking at it holistically, I mean, if we struggle to get to the opposing area in the last two matches in the qualifiers, I mean, something's got to switch up, and we said it before, something's got to change. And this game, you know, as Danny mentioned, we know James at the false nine, we were playing two James, and para mí James cumplió. Gol, asistencia, armó juego, created the most chances out of anyone in the match. Like Colombia played.
I agree. I completely agree.
And so I mean that's what Lorenzo wanted, right? And in the offense, like Colombia looked better than in the previous qualifiers. So that's not. I mean, to me, there's no complaints on that side. The complaints come in the midfield, the holding midfielders, and the defense. Like, what the hell's going on there, man?
Okay. Yeah. Yes. I agree. But before we go to the midfield, I wanted to say is when the offense we look better. When was the first what did Colombia do in the first 30th minute? We didn't do anything. The first shot on goal was a shot from James from way outside the box, and Uruguay, on the other hand, already had 4 chances that were blocked by Camilo Vargas. So going into the first half in the first 30th minute, Camilo Vargas, and to me, was the man of the match, not James. Not our offense, not our chances, was Camilo Vargas, in my opinion.
But so is that a fault of Colombia having to play the James, or is that a fault of starting Barrios, Uribe, y Arias in the midfield, and then having Cuesta and Sanchez in the back? They're really
to me is a fault of the playing style and the way that Colombia was playing. And and because of this type of playing style, we haven't played like this. All lines were disorganized. The midfield was disorganized. The back four were disorganized. Es el planteamiento del partido. To me, that's a fault. That's Lorenzo's fault, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the point I want to get to. Like you're saying, oh, it's because of the way that they lined up, right? And I agree completely. I think everything was disorganized from the jump. But once again, has nothing to do with James. Like, sure, having him in that position.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
It's Lorenzo. That's what I'm saying. It's on Lorenzo. I'm not necessarily bagging on James because he is the player. However, when he's there, we have to play for him. That's what I'm saying. I got you. He showed berraquera. Is he better than when he went in the previous games? Yes. I think he's getting a rhythm. However, we have to play to him. We have to play.
I think Lorenzo, and we mentioned it, I think in the preview, like Lorenzo's still trying to figure out what his best team is. And through 3 games, he really hasn't, because obviously there's different players in this call-up. But from what we saw in this game, like he's still trying to tinker with like what makes sense. And the way I see it, which is why I'm not, like I said earlier, not like, oh man, I'm so bitter about this, is it kind of was experimental and they were able to get a point out of it. Like ese partido, like we said, throughout the live stream, we could have scored a few more and we had those chances. Lucho, James, Arias, whatever. The same way Uruguay could have scored a lot of goals on us too. And I mean, those are the 50-50s. Those are the small margins that you have in the game. And it's like, I don't see it as clear as we were saying that day, like, we should have blew this team out. In certain, we would have, some of those chances would have went in, we would have had a different conversation right now. And we wouldn't have been talking about a lot of this stuff. But the same way that we were unlucky, man, they were too. And you said that Camilo Vargas was a big part of that and stopped a lot of shots. But to me, it wasn't like, damn, Colombia should have just walked through it, because Uruguay wasn't that great either. Pero tampoco es que estaban muy flojos ni nada. They put up a game in the way they did, not the way that we expected it to be. But I think they were still challenged, man. And once again, that ending is not fun. It's not ideal. It's something that only happens to Colombia, and that you shoot yourself in the foot losing those 2 points there. But I don't think we could be so like, man, this is a bad tie. Like, I don't think it was a bad draw.
And the reason why I think it was a bad tie is because if you look at the way against Venezuela, if we looked at the way against Chile, even the previous ones, we were kind of playing a more dynamic, faster pace.
We struggled a lot more on offense.
We did on offense. However, all our lines were organized. Our lines were more organized. Everybody attacked. everybody defended, but our lines were more organized. And that's what I'm getting at. If you look at what happened to Uruguay, and it's kind of what you were just touching up, Andy, Uruguay, they weren't that bad. To me, Uruguay was not disorganized. They didn't have legs. They looked tired. They would going up, yo, they were dangerous. Their problem was coming back. All of our goals were kind of, if you look at their midfield, man, they were dragging. And that's when I said that if we would have been, if our planteamiento would have been a more dynamic base going forward and coming back, I think that's when we're like, man, I think podíamos golear.
Then what do you mean dynamic based? Like
4-3-3. Everyone goes like everyone moving the ball. More Carrascal, playing like Carrascal in the middle with Uribe and Arias and Sinisterra on the right. It's a totally different type of.
I feel like we struggled so much in the last two matches, man. Just getting into the opposing half or opposing final third.
I think we struggle. In my opinion, we struggle more in this game. In this match was the one that we struggled the most. We didn't do anything in the first 30 minutes. We started moving
into any of those games, if we're being honest, bro.
True, but we didn't look. But we were making that. We weren't getting beat over the top. That Camilo Vargas has to be the man of the match.
Yeah. No, I do agree in that part. We'll work our way down and talk about the defensive efforts too. But I think in those terms, like we talked about getting off to a fast start because Colombia hadn't been doing that recently. And to me, which is you take the little pieces here and there of the game, is like we're lucky that we weren't down early, like you're saying, which is another reason why I'm like, yo, man, we could have also been having a different conversation at that point. Like we go down a goal early at home. Maybe we don't get that goal by James at the end of the first half. Now we're like, oh, man, here we go again type of thing. So, like, it's just, like I said, a shout out to Camilo Vargas because he's been excellent these 3 games. But you take it for what it is. And, like, the effort wasn't amazing. I'm not going to say that Colombia played a great game either. But I see a little bit of uncertainty because of the personnel. But I do see a little bit more of that, like, hey, man, this is a big opportunity. This is a big game. They kind of rose the level a little bit. I'm not saying that it was a good game, but I think they were able to be like, yo, we're going to fight with these dudes. And there's give and take because Uruguay defensively was really good. Man. Like they were really, really solid. And for Colombia to even have the chances that they had that didn't go in, the Lucho, the James, the Arias plays, like we didn't get those in the first 2 games. We just didn't get those chances, which was the bad part. And like I'm saying, we're going from not getting these chances and being sad or mad or whatever the adjective may be that Colombia is not producing anything to now we have 3-4 clear chances that probably should have been goals, and they get in these spots, and it's about that progression. It's about taking those steps, and that's why I'm like, yo, at least you see that a little bit, right? Go ahead.
Because everyone's saying how creation, and we didn't get those chances in the first game. Who did we play the first 2 games? Venezuela. How is Venezuela playing? Yo, Brazil wasn't getting those chances against Venezuela.
That's fair. Fair.
So we gotta darle méritos al otro equipo también. Chile, how did Chile play? How did Chile play in Chile?
Absolutely.
Yo, Chile played well too. It's hard to create against.
None of these games are easy, bro.
Exactly. All, so I also like I know it's not just because James wasn't there. Yo.
Oh no, for sure. No.
Venezuela just went against Brazil and played toe to toe, and man, they deserve to win, bro. Neymar. They were nowhere to go in.
Yeah.
But apart from that, we can kind of move forward and kind of touch. We could talk about what because to me it was a lot of bad. Like Ron said, in the midfield, like that's another question marks. Players that are underperforming, and I know we've been talking about Uribe, and Uribe is not even the biggest question mark right now, bro. In my opinion.
Well, really? For you, what's the biggest question mark?
Wilman Barrios is underperforming, man. To me, he did not look comfortable.
This might be like a one-off. I don't know. I mean, Uribe, we have like the president. We're like, we've seen him play bad for many matches. Barrios, like he kind of comes in, he does what I think his role was just to disrupt the midfield, not let Uruguay play in the middle. And Colombia had a lot of the ball, and Barrios is known not to be a ball-playing, holding midfielder. Maybe against Ecuador, he's more efficient. But to me, the biggest question is Uribe. Still, apart from that, like even, huh?
So your biggest question is Uribe, but I can rebuttal the same way you rebuttal with me. When you talk about chance creation and everything, Uribe scored. He created chances against Chile. Is this? We could go back and forth with the same thing you tell me. To me, what Uribe did it. What Wilmar Barrios with the ball in the box, he tried to clear it and he passed it to De La Cruz. Those are the type of thing. It's like whoa, and I mean, and his role is to block and prevent players. Yo, they were shooting over the top. Where was Barrios? Remember, you were like, oh no, Uruguay, if they attack, Barrios is gonna sus. Barrios didn't sus nothing, bro. All the ball was over the top. We kept getting beat over the top and in the middle, and they were coming in with numbers. In the first half, it was four. Remember on the Discord, I kept saying, bro, look, it's 4 against 3. Bro, look, it's 4 against 3. Barrios was not there to block anything. And so if he's not playing good with the ball and he's not blocking anything, why is he there? I think Castaño, I want to try Castaño, even though he doesn't play well at Cruz Azul. I think he would have been a better option in this particular match. Obviously, Lerma, he shows how big Lerma is for this team, for El Profe, because, like, bro, like, he's a big hole that we're having to cover, having to talk. And I don't know, Barrios, unfortunately, I'm hoping to say the same way you're saying that. I hope that it's a one-off. But to me, it wasn't that great, man.
No, it wasn't a good match.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a good match for him.
By any means, on Uribe and Barrios, I don't think, I'm going to say it again. Like, Uribe, apart from the goal, I think he was very sluggish, slow in transition. Guapito Paisa says, crack John Arias in the midfield. I think John Arias had a decently quiet game, but he was decently effective on both ends of the field. He had that big chance that he missed, hit the post. He hit the crossbar, right?
Yes. I like Guapito. Yeah, he had a chip. He tried to chip him.
And we called that. We called that on the last episode. We said Arias in that position gives Colombia a way better chance than him being outright. And I think that's 100%.
Well, I think once you notice once Uruguay got tired, the legs were tired after the 30th minute. Arias was able to kind of beat, not even through passing, just beat on the 1-on-1. He's just a sneaky player on the 1-on-1, playing the one touch. He had the one touch. Also, the ball was in the air. He played the one touch to Lucho Arias, the one that. But yeah, I agree. Arias. We like Arias in the middle, and we like Arias. I like him out wide too. I think I like him better out wide, in my opinion. But since we have Lerma's hole, I like Arias in that middle role.
I just think we have a lot of depth at wing. Like, we don't have to depend on Rafael. I don't know why he played Rafa out wide.
That's
like Sinisterra.
We have
some decent wingers that could cover the right wing. I think in midfield we're really lacking. We need John Arias there. Second half, 67th minute, Mateus Uribe leaves the pitch for Richard Rios. Let's talk about the subs. What do you guys think about Richard Rios in his debut?
I don't think he was particularly good or bad. I think he was kind of irrelevant, to be honest, in the time that he played. But I would like to see him play a little bit more. I don't know if maybe that was just like game state, him going into a situation that wasn't necessarily ideal for him. But I think he's a good player, and I think he showed a lot of energy, at least coming off the bench and kind of just being up for that. But like I said, I don't think I wouldn't lean one way or the other. I don't think as they like to say now, I don't rate him in this game because he didn't.
Me neither.
He wasn't really like a factor one way or the other.
Me neither. I think this was a game for Castaño. Even Carrascal, I wanted Carrascal to come in as a first sub. I also want to rate the subs in general. And it's going back to Nestor Lorenzo. What were we playing for? Were we trying to win the match, or were we trying to close off the match? Because we went up 2-0 with a goal from Mateus Uribe, which honestly, if you go back to look, it was a handball from James. Thank God the VAR
2-1
didn't give it to us.
Yeah. I haven't looked at that play again. I haven't looked at it again.
Yeah, bro, it was a straight up handball. But if you look, I think
la vaina es que James got the assist on that too. But I mean,
we'll take it. But to me, it's like, decide what we're gonna do, because it seemed he went for the win.
I think he wanted.
And the reason why he went for the win is because Mosquera was the last defensive sub. Which is not even, it wasn't Juan Mosquera. He put Mosquera on the right wing, which he put Gerson Mosquera, the Cincinnati player, which he plays center back, and he put him on the right. That's when he decided, hey, let's close this game out. All the other subs were offensive. Rios, was an offensive sub. Carrascal, offensive sub. Sinisterra, offensive sub. So to me, that falls again under Lorenzo. He went out to win the game. He even stated on his in the post match interview. He said when we were going for the third, we got scored on the they scored their second. So that shows you to me. I don't even think by going with Rios first. I don't even think it wasn't effective. That sub wasn't offensive.
The first sub should have been Sinisterra, and it should have been way earlier.
Sinisterra, Carrascal, I agree.
All the subs
way early.
Okay, yeah, we were screaming in Discord. We're like, "Yo, in the subs, and nah." Like, pero,
I think the reason Danny's saying that leads me to this point. Do you think maybe he wasn't or isn't confident in that defense? Like, yo, we try to park this bus. Like, we might just end up conceding anyway. Like, let's kind of just go out. Or you think it was kind of just like in the moment, like, yo, we should just try to win this game and go? Because
I mean, that happened regardless, man.
I think Mimic 10 said it best. That's my answer. Yo, he got too emotional. Just like we were like, yo, we about to go for the third. Let's go for the third. Let's go for the third.
I can see that.
I think that's exactly. And I don't think, like I said, I think it was Sinisterra should have been the first one. James still playing the 9, and we want to keep James playing because James was playing well. Let's put Sinisterra in for Borré. Nothing to back against Borré, but yo, let's add some wheels. Let's add some more back and forth.
I agree.
To complement James playing style. Lack of game management. Something I do want to touch up because para mí ese sí fue el que me cayó la boca because in my opinion it was gonna be our biggest hole was Santi Arias. What a wow. Of course, given what Uruguay showed on that side, Santi defensively, offensively, no tengo nada malo que decir del brother.
Experience. He's been in the position before.
Do I want him against?
He's playing in a good league with decent level. With other good Colombians like Mosquera, who's also on the team. Also Cucho Hernandez. Yo, Cucho could have gone in this match for Borré, man. Like
big time.
Could have been a match for him. But it is what it is. Santiago has held well, but on the contrary, on the other side, Paura, bro, ghost.
Kenny says no shock there. Hey, to me it was a shock the way he played. Also, it could be a testament on Uruguay. I don't know because Uruguay, if you look at the crosses and like on those first few crosses, yo, there was no tracking back following Santi, bro. Santi was going by himself, receiving and having a free cross. So, I don't know. Faura, el ex Deportivo Cali.
This is my thing, and I said this after the game too. I think the defense was terrible. Like individually, they weren't terrible. Like there was obviously some low points. I don't think Faura played particularly well. I don't think the center backs were that good either. But collectively, they were a mess. And I was like, that's two different things, right? Because like you said, you're not necessarily talking about a player to kind of downplay their ability, their level. Like I don't think Faura is fit for this team right now. The same way that I'm not confident in Danielson in the center back role. But I was confident in Santiago Arias going into the game, and I thought he played well. Collectively, they were off. And that's what's important in these games. Like, players could have their moments to shine, especially if you have wingbacks that are going up and down the pitch. But if you can't defend collectively and what we're talking about, all the situations that Uruguay was catching Colombia over the top, that pass over the top,
all of them.
Davinson Sanchez is over there. I don't know, like hanging out, and it's like this is like basic, soccer stuff is defending as a unit. Not to say that like it's easy because it's not. As somebody that plays defense, but there was no cohesion in that back line, bro. Like anytime you looked in a dangerous moment, you're like, where's the center back? Where's the right back? And it's like they're all over the place. And I was like, that's the stuff to me that's more worrisome about anything. Like because I have confidence in these players. I have confidence in Lukumi. I have confidence in Arias. I have confidence in Mina if he's in there. I know people don't have the same confidence, but if you can't defend as a unit, bro, it's over. Like the chances are gonna be there for every team if we defend that way collectively. And that's my thing. Like whoever we put in that other position, like if it's not Faura, if it's somebody else, Mojica, whoever the hell else, I don't even know who's available at this point there. Like it's like they're not
Machao's available.
For sure, yeah, my bad. They're not terrible players, but like collectively, bro, from what I saw against this game with Uruguay, is like that was a massive step backwards. And I'm thinking because that's not the back line we used in those first 2 games. So it's like, you know, you don't have that much time to train, but it's like, bro, that was an awful showing.
It was bad. And every time Uruguay had a chance, it was a threatening chance. Like,
right.
It was a goal. It was a goal. It was Camilo Vargas. That's why he had to come out, get his yellow. He had to come out, get the red. In the post match, and I wanted to note because David Machado, to me, he's a starter. He should have started, but they did mention that they lo salvaron, lo guardaron porque tenía amarilla. Tenía amarilla. So that kind of tells you, bueno, Lorenzo, he's thinking of Ecuador. He wants to put him for Ecuador.
That's good to know.
Good to know. The reason he also mentioned, and I'm quoting Lorenzo, that he put Fabra porque le da salida y pegada.
Y no le dio ninguno de los dos.
Ninguno de los dos. Exactly. So, no hizo ni pum ni pam. And I think we kept getting beat. And finally, my last point, and remember, this is me, Fabra. I got a Boca Juniors. I'm not even a Boca fan like that, and I got a Boca Fabra jersey, El Ex Deportivo Cali, and it's something that Mimic 10 just mentioned. If you take a look at the second goal, it's a foul by Barrios. The ball goes to the right. Fabra's jogging back. The ball lands right in front of him. Parce. Seguir derecho, get back, patearse hijo de puta balón at the stands, get a yellow, do whatever you want, except hizo un taquito, y se la pasa a Núñez. Y ahí, so remember how we were talking on the Discord? Yo, look, ¿por qué Davison Sanchez is so out of position? Why is our team out of position? Because we were barely getting tracked back, and we got beat by Fabra's pass, bro. Que le dio a Núñez, literally.
Moment of desconcentration.
Sí, desconcentration, pa.
And I mean,
todos los detalles cuentan.
Counts in these games. Yeah.
Todos los detalles cuentan. Si mandas ese balón, we're winning, bro. Patea ese balón. Or like, kick it to the right.
And the thing about Fabra, I'm glad you mentioned that, because what his strong point is giving you offensively something, right? But when Fabra was like in his prime, like playing super well for La Selección, he was still a hole defensively. Like 4 or 3 years ago. 4 or 3 years ago.
Which one? I know. Doing the Beckerman's process, during Cato's process, during Reinado's process. Which process, bro? Because this is about a process.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like his MO is like going and offensively being good, but defensively, bro, he's un hueco, bro. And my friends have always argued that like Fabra could be whatever he is in terms of transition, but defensively they have mucho espacio, bro. And then that giveaway, bro, that's bad, bro. That's, like you said, you have to be smarter in certain situations, and just doing too much, man. Especially as a player that's been around, that plays on a huge team, like you got to know better than that, man. You got to know better than that.
You got Argentina, pa. You're about to play una final de Copa Libertadores, bro. That's an elementary mistake, bro.
Yeah, big time.
But as far as defense, like it shows you how we're missing Lukumi. Plays center back on the left side. Davinson looks shaky on that left side. We've kind of seen it. But yeah, man, to me, the disorganized. I mean, you called it. They're all, they're walking in with the long balls over the top.
So I have a question. Is this personnel or is this tactics?
To me, it's tactics.
Tactics.
And this is where I keep. You guys think I'm coming at James? I'm not coming at James. I'm coming at tactics of Nestor Lorenzo. Yeah, because it's not even because I like the way we played against the second half against Venezuela when James played the false 9. We still looked dynamic. Our playing style was different, but in my opinion, this tactic was more James receiving, letting him flow, and I want to see James in more structured, not a floating James, but a false 9 James that it's literally receiving and letting everybody stay in their lane.
Well, with that, you need a true winger. You can't play Rafa Borrea out wide.
Exactly.
I've
That's a
been
decision you gotta make.
Exactly.
saying this is
Exactly.
bro. Es Sinisterra, bro. Sinisterra, bro. I'm telling you. Que los vuelten and go,
I
bro.
think this is a good point before we get into lo bueno, lo malo, y lo feo. I don't know if this was touched on earlier because I joined late, but thoughts on Lucho Díaz recently for la selección. Sin comentarios.
Sin comentarios.
De,
It's
que
tough. It's
yo
tough.
yo creo que Lucho se come hasta mi abuela, bro. Like,
Se come esa la abuela. You can't. I don't. I can't say anything on his on la berraquera, en la gana que le mete, que él trata de sudarle la camiseta. Because if you look at Uribe's goal, for Uribe's goals to happen, Lucho la tiene que guerrear individually. Come back, win the ball, slide, win it. Like drag the midfield, literally drag the midfield, hold the ball, run screaming, hey, soltala, marica, soltala. La soltó, beautiful ball. It was a beautiful ball to Rafael Santos Borré. Hey, pass to James, handball, and great finish by Uribe. No, but all jokes aside, you cannot say anything about his berraquera and his willpower for la selección. However, ya creo que le tienen el número. Hey, Nández played a heck of a match, man. Nández is a great player, and he had his number.
We're saying that for every left back that plays for the opposing team is like, oh, they played the best match of their career against Lucho. Is it the left back or is it Lucho, man, at this point?
I think Lucho's playing well. I think he's creating. Le falta gol. If he would have made the goal, hubiéramos hablado, ya the same way you would say James' goal, ya would say Uribe's goal, ya would say, hey, Lucho por fin. No, yo, en mi opinión, no se le ha dado.
But I think that goes back to the bigger talking point that we've been mentioning is like tactics. And Lorenzo says it like there's so much criticism on Lucho right now because he hasn't been performing that great. But it's like the team is not playing soccer that is conducive to his playing style and to him being at his best. And because we lack so much of that midfield creation, we're not seeing him be able to kind of just be the magic that he is because he's, once again, like Danny mentioned, like Borré having to track back a lot more than he's used to. Instead of getting the ball, playing, on his front foot, being in pace, being in spaces, like we haven't been able to see that. And then when he does get the ball those few times, he's very frustrated because now he's like, I now have to stop and think about it more. Like we have to, not we, because we have nothing to do with this. Lorenzo has to figure out what's the best way to expose those wings, bro, because we talked about this coming into the cycle, bro. That's a position that we're talented at. Like, forget everything else. Like, on the wings, we got talent. Like, and we have speed, and we have players that are ready to go at it. But we're not playing to that. And to Danny's point, which I'm agreeing with, which I've been agreeing with, is when you have a player like James on the field, you know what it comes with, right? And because he's not that fast player anymore, he's not going to give you that type of attack. But he will give you what we saw in the game is that he's smart on the ball. He has these moments of brilliance that he's like, he knows where to be. He knows where to make this pass to go, but it doesn't flow together because it's not a natural fit. And that's where Lorenzo has to figure out, like, do I have the right guys?
I like that.
First of all,
exactly.
And who are these right guys? Because I think we have the players. He's just not mixing them together so they could fit naturally.
See, Mimic 10 said a good point about, Lucho goes playing from Salah to Borré. I disagree. It's not when we play 4-4-3 and James on the field, it's not. He's going from having a Salah to James. It's not even Borré, it's to James. Secondly, I think he plays better with David Machado, which he gives da más salida y más defensa. Because Fabra only saw a little bit of overlap in the end of the first half. That's when Fabra finally started going. But apart from that, Lucho didn't get much on the left side. I also think it's not a good fit. And he's still trying to get used to. For example, I don't know if you remember the ball that Lucho's on the left. He passed it back to James. There's nobody for Lucho in the center, and he passed it back to James. James played a beautiful cross back to Borré. Beautiful ball. Hey, 10 de 10. That's why we want James there. However, Borré receives, and then Borré has a one-on-one against the defender. But we know Borré is not a one-on-one player. and
Easily
that's
loses the
the
ball.
person.
Yeah.
And then Borré is gonna have to swing it back. And if we had a player like Sinisterra, like as a Duran, that's gonna go at you,
Right at him.
Arias. So that's when we need the right personnel and what we're playing. Like, in my opinion, Lorenzo falló in the personnel and the playing style that we were going for.
Hace falta un socio con Lucho, bro. Lo que era Jairo.
Bro, I was just about to say Jairo, bro. My boy Jairo. Him and Lucho used to give me so much hope on that side, bro, because the way they used to link up was crazy. But to the Lucho point too, like he's not making it easy on himself because that's a goal that he buries probably 9 out of 10 times. Sin problema, güey, and then he has a chance and he tries to get cute with it. America must have scored. I think that's why they didn't run. He has an easy chance to score, and he tries to do a little too much. And it's like, bro, when you have the pressure on you, make it easier for you. And it's obviously easier said than done, but make it easier for you in these situations. You're not getting these chances, and he gets that perfect chance, which is it's unfortunate, but I think Lucho will be fine. I don't think it's more of an indictment on him than it is more on the team. I think he's frustrated the same way that probably a lot of these players are in certain situations, but I think he's going to be all right, man.
Muchachos, are we still on La Lorenzo Neta or are we off?
Donnie's hanging off of that shit in the back.
I have a lot of questions. A lot more questions.
Donnie went from being quiet out to being
yeah. I was right behind him. I was hanging on.
I think he's on Wilmar Barrios on
No, he's in the back with the bike right now. I'm telling you. He's ready to stop.
Where's the door? Is the door in the front or the back? No, mentira. No. But the thing is, I like the work that he was doing. I like what he did in the friendlies, and I feel like this is he kind of veered from that. And I'm not sure what. I don't know if we were tired, which I don't think we were tired. I think Uruguay was tired and organized. I think we weren't as tired, but we were just disorganized in all lines, in my opinion.
Bueno,
lo bueno, lo malo y lo feo, the good, the bad, and the ugly, boys.
I'll start.
Really?
So to you, James was the man of the match?
Not to me. To football and all the
to the world.
Okay.
Sí. So bueno.
Para mí lo bueno tiene que ser Camilo Vargas para el ex Deportivo Cali.
Es porque sí.
El ex Deportivo Cali, porque salvó 4 en la... Porque Camilo Vargas salvó 4 antes de que Colombia hiciera algo en el ataque. Camilo Vargas ya salió 4, ya se había salvado 4 y había agarrado una amarilla. To me, okay, en eso estamos process. To me, in this game, Camilo Vargas showed this is his process. He is the man for this role. Y si David Ospina regresa,
first game, bro.
si David, no, but I mean, I feel like this game he solidified it. Like, I mean, he was like, there's no doubts about it.
No doubt.
I saw the memes that like,
we don't have any other options, man.
No, Ospina comes back. There's people that want Ospina to come back. No. See, my opinion, like, I think the process for Ospina kind of already went through. And like this now is Vargas, because now people talk Mier, Montero's there, but no, to me, Camilo Vargas, he's got to be the man, clearly man of the match. 4 goals, 4 chances of clear goals, mano a manos. The first half, he had like 3. The second half, and he at least tried, and lo comprometieron, and he got a red.
Muchachos, comment your bueno. ¿Qué fue lo bueno?
¿Qué fue lo bueno?
Comment. Andy.
The good takeaways from this match.
Lo bueno mío, it's going to be James, but Ron already took my guy. So
no, you can use it. If you guys
use it. Don't worry, I'm gonna use it.
Use James, bro.
I'm gonna go with the second. I'm gonna go with the second person that Donnie hated on, that he didn't want in this game, that shut him up. Was Santi Arias, I bigged him up. I bigged him up in the preview episode. Like I've been watching him a lot this season because of his past and where he's played in Atletico Madrid, overseas, other countries, in Colombia. Like, I never thought he was the best defender, but I think he's solid, and I always have thought that about him. I'm confident in him as a defender, and it's not just that. He goes up, he gives James that beautiful ball, and it's like these little things.
Santi
Santi. And like this is what he's been doing in all season in Cincinnati. And once again, we'll get to the point of like, oh, MLS this and that, MLS that, whatever. This is a team that is supporter shield, that ran away with the supporter shield this year, the best team in the league by far. It's all about the rhythm, the momentum, which is why we're so angry that Cucho Hernandez doesn't get a call up. And to me, like, people will see the name on the call up sheet and like, oh, like, nah. I think for sure, I can say confidently, I'd rather have him start in that position than anybody right now. And that's just off of this sample size. And I'm fine saying that because he showed me what I expected to see and what I've always thought about him. So I thought that was great from Santi. Beautiful game. And then James, like, the story to me about James has always been the same. It's like there's so much give and take in the past few years because of how his career has, progressed through wherever he's been since the 2014 World Cup, 2018, whatever the case may be. But you have a player that when he puts that Colombia shirt on, transforms into a different monster. And we haven't seen James play like that, I don't think, for any club team in the past few years. Like he's on a different level, G. And I'm in my bag now. He's on a different level when he puts that shirt on. It's like, once again, we agree that he should have been subbed out a lot earlier. Like, he should have came out of that game because he was tired. But dog, nada, no le nego ni una gota de sudor esa camisa parce. And that's the thing about James to me. Like, he, you know what he's going to give you. And you said it, that beautiful pass across the field. Like, these are things that probably nobody on this team is doing. And he does the little things right, to me. And I think that in itself is important because we came from a position of people not even wanting him on this call-up. We came from a position of people not even thinking he was worthy of being on this damn team, bro. And now he's like, it's one game. And the game before that, he went. The game before that, he went.
No, pues ponelo otra vez, weón. Sí,
right, but I'm just saying, because it's James, it's always a different conversation, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I've had these conversations with all of my boys throughout the years. Oh, James that, and I'm like, bro, what more do you want to see from the dude, bro? Like, what more do you need from him? I don't understand why the conversation has gone from one extreme to another. Like, he shows it when he steps on the field. That's all I have to say, man.
Given, we'll talk about it leading up to la previa.
Un saludito a Steph Peña.
Saludito a la parcerita. Saludito. Lo malo. And I can go. I could start on this one. You guys already know what lo malo is going to be. Para mí, Néstor Lorenzo planteó el partido mal. The way we played with Borré, making Borré uncomfortable. Nothing against Borré. To me, para mí también planteó el partido mal because we've been playing a certain style. And I think this, I wanted to see and a chance of Carrascal start the match in the middle with Arias and Mateus. Or Arias and, Lerma would have been the man for me, but he's not there. And with a true winger on the right, with a true winger on the left, the back and forth, to me, I would have rather have that. And if you are going to put James, give him herramientas for him to have. The subs, I don't think the subs were effective. No decidió si ir a atacar o si defender. I think he got emotional, like Mimic 10 said, y no guardó el resultado. And I'm not even going to talk about the defense and the over the top.
Muchachos, comment lo malo del partido, the bad takeaways. What you guys didn't like about the game? For me, el pecho frío del 8 días.
Uy, no.
I said it before and I say it again, man. Lucho, Liverpool Wonder Boy, Colombia Wonder Boy.
He had the second goal.
Like, my guy, come on, you're in your prime. You're supposed to be the face of this Colombia team. You can't carry the team. We're still depending on James Rodriguez, man.
Oh my God! Rodriguez. Hot take, run,
bro.
Hey, man.
Like, and that miss, man. That miss, like, that was the 3 points right there, man. And it's not like just this game. It's been games before, man. He hasn't had a good tournament since Copa America.
Man, that's disrespect, lo malo, Lucho. Uy.
I think it's terrible. I mean, it's a fair point, and like the way Rome, he's not, killing the player, but it's a fair point, and like I feel like he's been trying to do a little too much, and he needs to simplify it to kind of get back in that rhythm. So I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Mine, I think lo malo is not going to be Lorenzo. It's going to be, which I guess this in terms is Lorenzo, is just the subs not being effective. And we asked about Richard Rios, and I just think none of those subs that came in the game offered us anything. And granted,
not the back Rios, because I want him to be
right. No, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes back to the point of like these subs need to be made earlier, and we talked about how talented this roster is, right? In terms of individuals, we need to be able to have confidence in these players coming onto the field and let them kind of dictate a game. And I always go back to this game, Colombia versus Mexico here in California, where they were down mad at halftime. Mexico was like killing them. And then Lorenzo was like, I'm going to make a line change and I'm going to put these players in. And Sinisterra les volteó el partido de una. Like, it was crazy how they came back. And that's the game that Barrios scores that banger off of Ali. But it's like, we need to see that. We need to be able to see these subs have an effect. And in term, like I said, it comes back to Lorenzo because the subs were all so late. And it's like, bro, why are you making subs at this juncture and then hoping that either they're going to hang on or give you the win when they didn't do either of the two, bro? They barely hung on because it was like at the end, it was like, all right, bro, we need to get out of this and make it happen. So I think and it goes back to tactics and all that. I think in terms of like, we need the team as a whole, more so like the people that are coming off the bench, to have a little bit more of an impact, because it was a good game in terms of like whatever the starters were out there, like fine, but it's like, all right, what's the second?
What's next? Exactly.
What's the next switch? And that's important in any game, in any level.
Completely
feel like
I'm with you, Andy. I completely agree because that's what he showed us.
Right.
We're losing the first half. He makes adjustments. Boom. The subs spark something. We need Carrascal in the second half. He puts Carrascal first touch ball he touches. Boom, he places the Arias that had moved to the right. Boom, cross, goal. I completely agree. To me, Lorenzo did not make any impact with the subs.
Bueno, lo feo.
The ugly.
Andy, sorry.
It could only be one.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Lo feo, los hinchas de Nacional, no mentiras. Lo feo, the defensive unit, bro. Like I mentioned already, defensive unit collectively, it was just not there, man. And it worries me because we're talking about, right, Chile, Venezuela, even Uruguay that wasn't, at its best. But we mentioned none of these games are easy. They're tough situations. Like, goals are not easy to come by in South American play unless you're Argentina and have somebody like Lionel Messi and minions running around that are just disgusting. But my thing is, like, you can't have these lapses. Like, you can't take a step forward and take two back in a process, which is why I always say the word process. You can't have those lapses because you're not giving players confidence. You're not giving them any room to grow when you're having a game this bad defensively as a collective. You're like, now you're looking at players like, this guy sucks. This guy sucks. When you could pinpoint moments that the players individually were really good defensively, right? And then you could pinpoint more that they were bad because collectively they weren't there. So for me, the collective unit defensively, man, it has to be better. It has to be better.
What about you, Ryan?
La segunda amarilla de Camilo Vargas. We have no keeper against Ecuador. No good keeper against Ecuador.
But nothing against him, though, right? Nothing against.
No.
Okay.
The fact that he's not available.
The red card. Well, now I'm glad you mentioned la segunda amarilla because leading up to that, para mí lo feo, lo horrendo, ¿qué gonorrea? Fabra, cómo le hace el pase a Núñez. He had the pre-assist. Fabra had the pre-assist. Mandar el balón, kick the ball to the stands, just slide it down over there, agarrarle con la mano, se la pasas a alguien that is standing on the ball, but instead le dio un taco, se la pasó a Núñez over the top, red card.
To sum it up, Luis Valderrama, I like that we're instilling attacking football principles into our approach again. The execution on day, however, is just shit, none else. Concepts aren't fully polished / poor in-games management.
That's a great way to put it. It's a great way to put it.
And what Winner Fresh 55 says, the tougher game of this week is the one against Ecuador.
Olivia, bro. I was like, I thought it was going to happen.
Yo con la fe intacta, yo me monto.
¿Sí? ¿O se montas?
Yo me monto.
But are you on? Or I thought you were already on.
I was already on.
Okay.
Now I'm on top of the cabin. With my arms like this, like James.
Yeah, so what do you think? Going into this match against Ecuador, like what are your first thoughts?
My first thoughts were vean, dije, cayó el internet. No, mentiras. First thoughts was obviously flashbacks back to the game 3 years ago.
Exactly, bro.
The 6-1. Hay que vengarnos, marica, y tenemos con qué. I think we're gonna surprise. We're gonna surprise a lot of people. I know you guys aren't very confident in the team, but I think we got the personnel to do it.
Yeah, same here, man. It takes me back to that 6-1 que le hicieron la camita a Queiroz. Because I just remember that game. It just went bad to worse, man. We got scored on, and it's like no reaction, another goal, and another goal, and it shows you how dangerous that Ecuadorian team is. And to me, this Ecuadorian team is even more dangerous than that because now they're more solidified. They got their style of play. They got their personnel. Now it's not just Plata. They got Plata's not even no está ni siquiera convocado. They got all Estupiñán. Like they have
a squad, bro. They got a squad.
They're building from with young players. They have a mixture of young and old, and they could really ball out. I haven't even said that last name, bro. Like it's insane, bro. 16-year-old got bought out from. ¿Ves más que le pasó? El internet le está robando. got bought out by Chelsea. Like, yo, the way they're playing, man. First things first. How do what do you see with their playing style?
It's a lot of speed. They're very physical. A lot of speed. Of course, the altitude it works to their favor in Quito. 5-3-2 Valencia. There's a lot of mixture between.
It's like 5-3-2, 3-5-2.
A lot of mixture between youth and experience, of course, with el pelado que tiene 16 años. We got Valencia up top. So it's a team that has their process, and they underachieved at the World Cup, in my opinion, because they could have gone farther in.
They look really good. They even look good in the World Cup. And if you think about it, like the way they went out, it was kind of like, man. But yeah, like you said, they've solidified their playing style. The midfield is led by Moises Caicedo. When he wears that Ecuadorian jersey, he's on another level. He has good Moises leads, but he has good counterparts in that middle. Of Henry Páez now solidified the last 2 games starting, scored in La Paz, which is crazy. And also in the ex-LAFC, Cifuentes. Really fast, all box to box, all good with the ball, all great defending, all could create. And it complements their 5-3-2, 3-5-2, however you want to call it, playing style, which is pretty much wing play. They cover a lot of ground. The midfields cover a lot of ground, letting the wingers fly. They also have multiple, like we mentioned, Estupiñán, and it's not even in there. They have multiple names, multiple players that can attack. Ener Valencia is a monster leading the top, and they got not only all that, they got goal. They could play con la pelota parada. They can score off corners. They move the ball well. They're very dynamic Premier League type team. What does that say about Colombia?
Oh no! How
do we adjust? Do we go out like we played against Uruguay?
James scored last time around. I think he's going to score this time.
Un penalty. Un penalty.
Yo, don't say
un gol.
6-1, bro. That shit.
Weren't we saying that Núñez scored a penalty in Barranquilla, que es a big deal, que hubo un partidazo, que nada que?
My guy, we lost 6-1. we lost 6-1, bro. You want to be happy about a James PK, bro? Que vergüenza, parce. Like, bro, I'm scared, bro. If we don't come back,
James starts or no?
Yeah,
ideally, I wouldn't start James. I wouldn't start James.
All right, let's start.
Especially, yeah. What does everyone think? You start James? You guys start James on the chat? I personally wouldn't start James because in this process of how we've been playing, how we played all the friendlies, James was a second half player where we kind of we need him to James plays better when there's tired legs. Number one. Number two, he just played a full match in Barranquilla, and I think there were conversations about maybe that he practiced al separado. So he's not the same James. He no tiene el mismo desgaste que tenía ahora. Now he's got to go and play against a very dynamic team, a very fast-paced Ecuador. Plus la altitud, add la altitud. I don't know if he can give us. Well, he's not gonna. I don't think he can give us 90. I don't think he can give us 90 over there. And I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't start him. I would bring him back on the second half. If we're just talk about James.
You said James plays better when he comes in as a sub.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he plays equally as well as a sub. I mean, he's never depend on the speed.
Is he better with tired legs? Does he not play better with defensive tired legs? Yes.
I guess the players around him do because they depend on their speed. James is all about mind games, the football IQ, the finding space, the putting the ball into space.
How do you think what James' mind game's gonna like? What is James' mind game contribute against this Ecuadorian team in Ecuador?
Chance creation.
So you say you go and go toe to toe against Ecuador? Because James is not going to defend.
I don't think we can go toe to toe against Ecuador.
So James is not going to defend. So he's not going to come back. So that means we automatically
11 players don't have to defend.
Borré does. When Borré plays up top.
Borré if there's one person that should not be in the starting lineup, is Borré. If there's one person that should not be in the starting lineup, is Borré. Because to that point, if we're talking about not even just if James on the field, even if it's Carrascal, whoever, like, Unless there's a formation change where Borré is going to be able to naturally flourish and it's a game to mix that wing up. And once again, to that same point of like trying to find your best personnel and trying to figure things out. What Danny said about Ecuador is what worries me about Colombia is that midfield, when they're able to dictate games because of what their midfield creates, both going forward and what they give on the defensive end too. And right now, obviously, Colombia lacks that. And if you don't have a dynamic midfield and then you don't have the wingers that are going to be able to, go up and down the field against Ecuador, then we're really putting ourselves into an issue. So to me, once again, I'll say Sinisterra to me is calling for a game that a winger is going to create, and you're going to have Lucho on one side, you're going to have Sinisterra on the other side, or whoever it may be, and it's going. The same way we thought that maybe Uruguay was going to come out and go, because if we're not able to have that magic and that cohesion in the midfield, which we haven't seen, whether it's Mateos, whether it's Arias, whether it's James, whoever the hell it is, then it's going to be hard because Ecuador will dominate the game just strictly off of midfield play. And that's not just going forward. That's midfield play in general.
And their bread and butter is the wings. And their
sure.
bread and butter, and that's what's scary, bro. Like the way they control the mid, and they use the wings and they attack with numbers, both wingers and both strikers, because their midfield covers so much ground. That's why I don't think I would start James, because we need everyone.
Okay, as far as starting lineup, let's start with the keeper.
We can't put Camilo Vargas in there no more, man.
I don't know, man.
No, Montero. Montero's gonna start.
Chunga.
No, man.
No. Yeah, I think Montero's gonna start. Would you guys have been mad if they would have given Mier the look, or you think he's not?
I think Montero's fine. Montero's fine because he plays in altitude in Bogota with Millos. That could play to some advantage, not much maybe, but he's older. He's got experience.
I don't think Montero's that bad.
I don't think we have any other options.
Just don't play on the feet. Don't play on the feet. Don't play on the feet. Literally, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean the next player in the hat, it will be Montero. I wouldn't mind maybe giving Mier, but that would be maybe throw him in the fire against a tough situation. Montero in the back at goal probably. Who would you guys play on your back line?
Same back line. Fabra out.
Machado in.
Fabra out is crazy, bro.
Yeah, Machado in for sure.
I think we could all agree there now.
So same back line, but including Machado. You guys play Santi on the right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And is that because we don't have any more players, or we just don't know?
That's all we got, man.
Dita, no Dita, no Mosquera. You wouldn't give them a run for their money, or
I think
like I said, bro, you're not letting this defensive unit get into any type of flow, bro. If you had the fourth game with a different back line, it's like, dude, there has to be a little bit of a unity in that back line for them to be able to defend collectively, which they're not doing. Like, bro, yes, this is all we have, but I'm not even thinking about changing the personnel besides Fowler back there. Absolutely.
I think we're one injury away from
I'm stressed.
calling up Andy, man.
Literal.
Honestly,
I'm ready.
Midfield.
Yo, man. We know who's gonna be. We do this every episode.
Mateus Uribe, captain. Unless James goes up. Unless James is playing. Mateus Uribe.
So right
Mateus Uribe. Who else you got? I would bring in Machado just because of how disorganized our midfield look. I'm sorry, yeah, Castaño. I would bring Castaño, Uribe, y Arias. Y el chiquito Arias. So that I could put Cini on the right.
Andy, midfield 3.
I would like to see Rios get a shot at it from the beginning. I know it probably won't happen, but I would like to see Rios get a shot at it from the beginning. And yeah, I mean, I'm obviously not a advocate of Mateos, but I don't think he had a terrible game as compared to the first that he played.
I don't think yes, I agree.
He's going to be in there, and then Arias is, like we mentioned earlier. I think he's quietly been solid in that position, giving Colombia a little bit of stability, which is very much so needed. So I'll go with Rios, Arias, and Mateos there.
For me, Barrios, Arias, Mateos Uribe tiene que ser. I mean, we got no one else.
I don't think he's I don't think he's our worst player. I don't think he's our worst player for sure. Up top, Lucho, indiscutible.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let you guys take the next two, because this is where
Ron is like Lucho.
This is where we're gonna agree to disagree. So Lucho.
You know what? I'll disagree on. No, I'm playing.
Ron's trying to change the whole front line, bro. Have James play as 9.
Bro, I would just go same 3. To be honest.
With Borré too?
Yeah, I would put Borré to start.
Bro.
To start.
Which I love Borré. El ex Deportivo Cali. I love Borré. But if you're gonna play James, and we're gonna be playing against a team that the wings are bread and butter, that's fast paced. We need a winger.
I feel like Borré has a little bit more disgusted in Sinistera. Actually, much more disgusted in Sinistera. Sinistera can come in with Carrascal in the second half, early in the second half, not in the 80th minute. Nestor Lorenzo, if you're watching this. But yeah, I would put up the same top 3. I don't think you can bench James after the match he had, unless he's not fit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I definitely agree with that, but then Donnie's point to like him playing, what he played 81 minutes, is kind of a little worrisome. But I think he does get the start anyway. But ideally, I would like him to play, and I'm gonna go for Sinisterra as well. But I wouldn't be surprised to see after that conversation to see Carrascal start, which would be kind of interesting too. But to me,
that's why I think I would start Carrascal in the middle. And instead of having Arias in the middle, I will push. If you don't like Cini, I will push Arias on the right, because he gives us the back and forth. If Cini is not fit, I want both on the field. I would want Arias in the middle and Cini on the right. But for sure, I would want, instead of James, I would want Carrascal in the middle. Then that's when I think Borré would play up top. Which what I think Nestor Lorenzo is gonna do. Of putting Borré up top. I wouldn't mind if he gives Duran or Casierra a shot in this match. However, the way he hasn't been putting them in, I think it's going to be Borré. I will put Borré. Lucho, Borré, y Arias, or Cini. And depending if Cini's in, then Arias in the middle. If Cini's not in, Arias on the right. And then Carrascal, Uribe, Castaño in the middle.
Duro.
Predictions.
2-0 Colombia. Sin miedo.
Y de una la tiró.
Golpe de autoridad. Lorenzo Neta has arrived.
I like it. I'm gonna go with 2-1. I know that's a safe one, but I'm a little more confident in this game than I was in the Uruguay game for sure. And I will say that I did say optimistically I saw a 2-2 draw in that Uruguay game, so I'm gonna give myself a little credit.
I saw. Big shots to you. I'm gonna be optimistic.
You can say the truth and then say optimistically like I did, bro.
Okay, the truth is I'm scared, bro. Tengo miedo. Tengo mucho miedo because of what happened last time. Because there's a lot of questions. Because I'm probability wise, we're going into this game not favorites on playing style, on previous results, on personnel, on everything, on previous.
But what is Vegas
matchups?
What is Vegas?
Oh, dude, Vegas. I think Vegas is gonna have Ecuador, bro. But I'm not even gonna go with it. But I think it. Ideally, it's not gonna go with what Richard thinks. I think it will. However, I'm gonna go with Andy with a 2-1. Colombia win.
2-0 sin vaselina.
Sin vaselina. Gol de quién? Gol de Mateos. Yo, remember we did this in the last episode. Gol de quién? And we were saying gol de James, gol de Mateos, like joking around. And wow, look at that, man. We're actually good at this, bro.
Gol de Frank Fabra.
Yeah. Ojalá para el ex deportivo Cali, ojalá que nos caiga. I don't know. It's tough, man. This one, there's a lot of questions. The way Ecuador has been playing, it's been scary. Remember, on the table, they're farther down because they started with a -3. However, they lost 1-0 against Argentina, which was they didn't play a bad match, and they won 3 back to back. So they're going with a lot of momentum. I don't think we have as much as momentum. I think we have a lot of injuries, a lot of questions. We've been very disorganized. Hopefully we win 2-1.
You heard it here first. La Moja Luis Diaz.
Ojalá, we need it, bro. He said it on the post-game interview that cuando les debo una, pero cuando venga van a venir muchísimos más.
Sí.
So,
ahí va el gol de Lucho.
Yo todavía lo banco. No voy a decir que el gol de Lucho y yo, it's time, man. He's due for a goal, man. Like,
lo puso lo malo, you went in, bro. Yo, play the clip. Ron going in.
Hey, man.
But I hope so. It's time, bro. I hope so.
El gol de Lucho y gol de James, digo yo. La jerarquía, sin vaselina. 2-0 en Ecuador.
No, que sea un golcito de Lucho. Un golcito de Lucho y cabecita de Borré. Yo creo que cabecita de Borré.
This guy loves Borré like nobody else.
I love Borré, bro. I'm saying, but not on the wing.
Where you guys watching the match?
I kind of want to go watch it at the bar at Wicked Wolf, but if not, we'll Discord. Should we do a Discord again? Discord watch party?
The Discord was fun, man. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, for you guys that don't know, we had a watch party. We opened the Discord. We watched the game live with
Pero hay que llegar tempranito porque eso se agota. Esos son como de Balvin, weón. Eso va rápido de una. Ya no hay nada.
That was a lot of fun. We were able to chat with you guys, watch it.
Se vende rápido.
The reaction. Tickets go out soon. No, just
aquí no hay revendedores, entonces llegaste.
25. Get there early. If we do it, Ron, you gonna do it or you want to go to the bar? It all depends. We'll see.
No decían después. No decían nada.
We'll decide if we do this. If we do the Discord, you guys get the notification. Just know that we bring the vibes. We'll be drinking. Va a haber guarito, como Richard Pardo dijo.
Pero bueno, muchachos. Parceros Take, episode 27.
Seguimos esto que toque.
Steph Peña, gracias to everyone who tuned in, who
Alejandro,
liked,
Richard, Laicas,
Luis
Alejandro,
Valderrama.
Luis, Jay, Gaby.
Hey,
Dime,
un saludito a los hinchas de Nacional que ayer perdieron internet, que no tuvieron internet toda la noche. No sé qué pasó ahí, pero bueno, cosas pasan en la vida que una vez no tiene sentido, pero listo. Ojalá que durmieran muy chido.
Hey, dale, muchachos. Nos vimos.
0-0 Cali. Nos vemos. 0-0 Cali.
Sí,
Saludito a
sí,
los loquitas de la B. A los loquitas de la
Bueno,
B.
muchachos.